What's going on, YouTubes? It's time for recap. So, this morning, we finally got all those short targets we have been ranting and raving about. If you go to that 15-minute chart in the neon green, we talked. This is not the one that I need. We'll just do this one. We were talking all last week about this perfect 15-minute fib on the CPI day. We had the big push on CPI, the wash, the slip under CPI, and the flip in reverse. This candle right here, 9 a.m. on the open drive here, central time for me, left a no tag GP15. Now, you know how we draw Fibonacci candles, and we love our one and done fibs. The 200 SMA, 100 EMA, 10 SMA were all interaction points with this 15-minute candle. If we back up here a little bit to the neon green, we said it was anything short under the 24K. That was the continuation to the downside. We hit the 423 of that 15-minute fib that we called, and we said, hey, just short every pop. It's all about structure. So trend lower high in PPI, came back up, lower high in CPI trend, lower low, lower high, lower low, not by much, lower high, lower low, almost double bottom, and away she went, finally retracing the fibs. And this is what the course is going to be all about. We have a nonprofit cancer course coming out. Oh, excuse me. And this is exactly what I'm going to get to teach you guys. So the one and done fib right here was a recycle. So it popped up immensely fast, went to the full extension of the 423.6. 24,050 and some change, about 68.50. And at that Fibonacci at the top had to retrace back down to the golden pocket. We obviously had a really big bonus round today because we had one more short target underneath that, which was this double 15-minute fair value gap. But it all worked out for fib recycling. But for anybody that's new here, what's fib recycling? Well, you take that high-low Fibonacci that has no recycle point. So it shot up from the candle that we are discussing right through the 1618, right through the 26, right to the 36, right to the 423.60. That means once the fib is completed, we have a very high probability chance to walk itself back down to the golden pocket and the 100. Those are the easiest ones. And you notice each and every recycle point on the fib acts as perfect support resistance. So when we dropped 423, landed on the 2618, popped back up to the 3618, right? Broke. Now remember, it scam shied the 1618. So 2618, 3618, and this day right here did not hit the 1618, recycled, broke, and next day lower low, lower high, almost back to the 2618, breaking through that 100 again, recycling today to the golden pocket final. So we had a huge bonus round. So that last piece of the pie was also this 15-minute fair value gap that we had wide open that we had left on the chart for advanced short targets right here. So we did hit that as well today, and she just kept leaking. So you see the white Fibonacci here, which will delete the green now, as my chart does its shimmy. And we'll show you this where we're going right now. So we did shy that 2618 up here, and we're just heading down to this daily GP. 86 is one of the daily candles that has a high-low with no golden pocket tag and no back test of the 100. That's another big reason that we picked a downside from longer term Fibonacci. Came up to the 2618, created all-time high. Do you see this box right here? Well, that's an all-time high doji, right? And what I like to do is when we get a doji, especially at all-time high, you just follow the body. That's it. So you got the all-time high. You see the body right there coming in at 23,935, just under that perfect level of the 24K. Big psychological number. And you see that all-time high box right here. And we love dojis. We've been teaching that for over 10 years now. Dojis, especially at lows and highs. So we did see that breakthrough here. We got confirmation of weakness, lower lows, lower highs, all the way down. We have the golden pocket on the 8th candle coming up here as long as we stay under 23,446. And we've been calling this for a bit, right? We've been just waiting for the break of the 10, waiting for the reversal here. Now, depending on what the news comes out and everything else, all you gotta do is back out. We were talking about the divergence a couple weeks back. Let's take a peek. Hot RSI snapping up, the one pullback. Okay, look at the divergence. It's so easy. One pullback under the 10 SMA, went back to all-time highs. Does this RSI look like continuation all-time high? No. Does this MACD look like continuation all-time high? No. The lines have been crossed, and it had to do a womp out, right? A sweep to the all-time highs prior to this dude sweeping above and letting the divergence of the MACD and RSI tell you what's up. We also had the volatility index helping us out today big time, and we did 15 over under. So today, all we had to do is wait for a breakout of 15. Instead, we chase all the way back to the 1620s for me. So we do have a gap back here. And this was a data gap down on the volatility index, and we're looking to fill $16.22 this week. So the VIX still has lots of headroom here. Depending when she opens up, she's just got to get over this 666 Fibonacci. So with some good trend over 1572, we're going to start heading up towards this gap right here, and that's going to come in at 1620. Now, last but not least, let's go over the intraday day trades today that we had called out for our group. So we were left with this interesting little GP no tag here. This is on the 15-minute chart, okay? We have this guy at 7:30 a.m. Central, hour before my market open. This 15-minute candle's high-low pointed to the downside. You've seen a really nice recycle point again, right? So 15-minute high-low goes down to the 1618 right here. Do you see the 1618 retracing back to the 100 before it dumps? Nope. That means it's a magnet point. Again, I'm teaching this in the nonprofit cancer course big time, so pay attention. These are little bits and pieces of it. We actually came down for the secondary candle right to the 2618 without any backtest. That means when we created the Fibonacci, it went 1618 and 2618 before returning to the 100. If you notice, we have T1 long and T1, or not 1 and 2, T long, T long. Those were our targets for our upside, right? So let's take a peek. And the intraday chart, this is what we traded off of right here. We said we'd probably get a pop and then back drop. So here's that 15. Walks itself to the 2. We had a long potential here up to the target 1 of the 1618 and target 2 of the 100, and then downside, right? Very clean trade. We obviously got some bonus round because on the way down, we came washing back down. This is all the GPs here, 15-minute fair value, and we should discontinue the leak. So SPY, and this is going to be into Jackson Hole as well, was a huge one as well. So we'll go over SPY real quick. Same jam. We always golden pocket the high-low every single day. So from the high to the low, we run our Fibonacci, and then we use the golden pocket from the high-low in the daily to assume direction. If you see my markers right here, we had high-low markers for if it maintains above the pre-market high, above yesterday's close, breaks out of the high, so we can return back up here to 645. If we get the confirmation of the break, we're going to head down. So I left a over-under space right there at that 50 for our sentiment. And we said, okay, well, if she holds up here, great. We start looking at the long. If she breaks down under that 50, lower low, short all pops, okay? And how do we identify extreme weakness here, right? Well, not only are we in the bottom channel of the 5-minute RSI, MACD's cross, showing absolutely no buyers, as the VIX is obviously breaking out over that lows close and 15 whole dollar that we needed, we had that to go off of. We had a fair value gap here on the 5-minute chart, so again, breaking that, back testing and going. It was on the 1-minute chart as well, but fibs, always more important. So underneath that GP to the downside, notice the extreme weakness and how we found the continuation. The gold high-low, again, pointed to the downside, hit the 1618, tried to retrace, couldn't get to the pre-market low, couldn't get to yesterday's lows, which is that 100 fib, and continued to the 2618. Slipped under that a little bit, bounced, and chop close to continue sell. So where are we going to go? Well, September is usually a bearish month. We have less than a 12% chance to be hitting all-time highs in September. So what did I tell my crew to do? Right here, you guessed it, we sold calls on ES. I sold a bunch of 6400s on ES here because we were going to be under that in September. So we have 65s, 64s. I got a couple of different groupings on the accounts, but we were coming down from that all-time high. And again, just a really perfect continuation to that downside. You can back up on that daily. You can look at your oscillation indicators, and you can notice, there we go. We can notice those big dips that we had from the prior all-time high, cracked the RSI, creating the snap to lower high fail. Same with the MACD, showing you larger oscillation cell waves with the crosses way back here, 630, 67, but she kept ranging. Again, this is why Fibonacci rules them all, right? So back to the SPY. So I want to show you the daily here real quick, show you where we are headed. So we have a triple no tag GP right here on the daily. And again, I covered this a long time ago, and we said, well, 3618 is our favorite short. Wait till it hits an extension for that. Here's your high-low, which means the top 627, 626, and 625. I took the high of those and the low of those because we have 3 no tag GPs. And oh man, what do you know? 3618. So we'll be coming down to 635 this week, as long as we have that continuation through the 10 SMA and the speed, right? We do have some pretty interesting no tag GPs lower here after the gap down. So you see one no tag GP associated with a really nice doji, and we obviously have to get back to the 1618. Now, the cool part about this one, it has a very strong draw magnet down because just like the 15 we just covered earlier, the Fibonacci cycle has not completed correctly. That means the high-low here on the fib went 1618, and after the 1618, it did not recycle to the 100 before continuing trend. We tried to come down 2 different times, but it got bought up ahead of time, right? Thus giving us that signal straight up to the 2618, back down to the 1, and to the 2. So my target for this week, I'll see you down at 635. And then if we continue that break for the big to September, I'll see you guys down here at 616.43 and the GP of the triple and potentially the gap, right? Near 600 half whole dollar. So if September goes correctly on all of our ESL calls that we took right after the all-time high, the second day, following that again, doji body, that is it. You can see the daily doji all-time high right here as the confirmation point as well. We hit an all-time high, broke through that orange bar, which it says daily doji all-time high. We back tested that. We then confirmed that through the overnight session and continued down because dojis are literally that important. Again, some of the oldest members here that we've been teaching for 10 years, way back when, know exactly what we're talking about on those daily charts. So if you want to hang out with us in chat, if you want to join us, links in the description. You want to win some free cash? We're going to double up some giveaways coming up to this weekend because we didn't have time to do it this past weekend. So drop a comment, make sure you subscribe, like the video. That gets you entered into the freebie. And if you want to join us, links in. You guys take care. Tune in on the next.